Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow. Okay, so I told y'all that my son was hit by a car. He sustained a traumatic brain injury, put on life support, and he had to have facial reconstruction surgery in ICU and plastic surgery. Excuse me, y'all. I'm tired. He went to the step down unit. He passed his swallowing test, so he was able to drink nectar thick liquids. Then he got transferred to the rehabilitation center so he could do therapy, speech, and OT. Well, I talked to therapy guy yesterday, and he said that my son did over 650 steps, which my son wanted to do more, but the therapy guy didn't want to overdo it. Then he worked with occupational therapy, and she stated that he did everything that she asked him to do. So that was good. Now, let me give you a backstory. He's only been at the facility 24 hours. Last night, 24 and some change. The first night my son was there, he would not sleep. Again, I forgot that there was a phone in the room. He called me all night long till 4 o'clock in the morning. Ma, when are we leaving? Ma, I don't want to be here. Ma, when are you coming back? I'm like, you need to go to sleep. You need to relax. You are going to be okay. Same thing happened last night. I went to go visit him to take the stuff that I forgot to bring him, and he was agitated because when he left trauma, the only restraint that he was on was when he was sitting up in a chair, the little vest restraint, and then the chair alarm because he will try to get up and walk. He gets to the other facility, they got full restraints, mittens on his hands, restraints on his arms, and then the restraint to stop him from getting up out of the bed. I questioned why. So when we were on the step down unit at trauma, because he still has the feeding tube in his nose, when he was able to drink, the nurse showed him how to take the feeding tube in the nose and to place it behind his ear so that when he drinks, it won't keep hitting it. My son doesn't want to pull it out. So now at the new facility, the first morning, new staff come in, excuse me, and my son moved the tube to put it behind his ear so that he could drink. They thought he was trying to pull it out. So all restraints were on him. So when I went up there, I'm like, what is going on? Why does he have all these restraints on him? They thought he was trying to pull his tube out. Now, when we were at the trauma center, ICU, and then the step down unit, I recorded things for the purpose of I wanted my son to see where he was and how he's progressing. I'm glad I did that. So I showed the rehabilitation center. Look at my child laying in the bed. He just has the vest on so that he can't get up, because he will try to get up. There are no restraints on his hands. You see my son giving a peace sign, letting everybody know that he's okay. I sent that picture to everybody. Then you see him sitting in the chair. He does have the chair alarm on that he's sitting on, but there are no restraints on his hands. He still has the vest on so that he can't get up. You see my son praying, raising his hands, no restraints, thanking God. He forgive the person that hit him. He thanking God for everybody that prayed for him. In Jesus' name. He's praying. He's also praying that the nurses will hurry up and put him back in the bed. They said give them 2 minutes. Excuse me, y'all. Give them 2 minutes. So he prayed. And when they walked in the room, he said, yeah, that was the fastest 2 minutes. He thanked God he got in the bed. He went to sleep. They came in and said at the trauma center on the step-down unit that they were transferring him to the rehabilitation center that I requested. Me talking about once he got there that night, he was so agitated because he said, but Ma, I've been good. Ma, I'm not taking this out. Why am I being tied down? I said, let me talk to the staff. So again, the point of this video is, thank God I have videos to show them and pictures to show that how he was taught to take the tube feed that was in his nose, put it behind his ear so that when he drank, he don't want nothing to touch it. I showed the charge nurse, I showed the doctor, and while the doctor was in the room talking with us, she pointed at my son, and I looked. He was taking the tube, placing it behind his ear. The doctor said, I agree, Mom. He doesn't need all of these restraints because I see how he's just moving it, and now he's drinking. And my son said to the doctor, I'm not pulling it out. I'm doing what I was showed to do. So he just has the restraint to keep him in the bed. He did work well with speech. He ate his first breakfast yesterday, parade, soft diet. And then because he was up to 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and then today, when it came time for lunch, he was asleep. So when I got there, I was like, okay, you didn't eat your lunch? He was like, Ma, I'm tired. Plus, when I got there, they told me he was asleep. So I sat outside for like 2 hours, and then that's when the nurse wanted to talk to me. So then I went in the building. Here comes the dinner tray. Before they took the lunch tray, I said, you got pudding on here, you got lemon water, and you have cranberry juice. Do you want me to keep those? He said, yes, Mom. Okay, so now the dinner tray comes, and he has mashed potatoes with butter and some type of broth, a little bit of broth on it. He has chocolate pudding, and he has more lemon water and more cranberry juice. He ate 100% of breakfast and dinner, and then part of the dessert from the lunch tray and the juices. So He's doing good. He's really doing good. But with a traumatic brain injury, they have the ups and downs where they could be doing good with their behavior and then they have outbursts. My son was on that before he got hit by a car, y'all. So I did not leave last night until 10 o'clock because the surgeon said because he had to get surgery done on all of this right here. All of this was broke. He had to go in and reattach the upper to the lower part of his jaw, chin all the way around to here. And while he was at trauma, he didn't complain of any pain. But I was told to pay attention to him because once he start eating, now he's using that. So he did complain of pain yesterday. And he did get pain medicine and it did work. So then last night he complained of pain again. The nurses are wonderful. There's always one. That's just whatever. So he got pain medicine again around 9:39 last night. And he was asleep. So at 10 o'clock, I was like, still has a sitter. I said to the sitter, I'm going home. I'm going to sleep. And I had already told him I'd be back up there today. Before I could get home, it's a 29-minute drive. He was calling, Ma, why'd you leave? Ma, I don't want to be here. Ma, I want some pizza. Ma, Ma, Ma. And then I had to say to him, I didn't understand what you said. Clear your throat. Take your time. He said, Ma, I want. And then I couldn't understand what he said. I said, okay, do me a favor, take a break. I heard you say, Ma, I want. Do me a favor, clear your throat and tell me what you want. I already know you said you want. He said, pizza. I said, okay, you'll eventually get your pizza, but tonight you can't have pizza. You just started off with a soft diet. By the time I got home, he had called me 4 times. Then once I get home, he's now calling me again. My son called me up until 4 o'clock this morning. And then I was back up at 7. We're going to have to do some changes with this phone in his room. Because in 2 days, I've gotten 6 hours of sleep. I'm grateful, I'm thankful that my son can call me, that he can talk, that he can eat, that he can walk, he can brush his teeth, he knows how to use his urinal. I'm thankful, God, I'm thankful. But I'm tired, mentally and physically, y'all. I'm tired. It's now 8:35 in the morning. I woke up at 7. Knee pain. How about that one? So at this new facility, from the time I leave the house to the time I get there and visit, and by the time I come back home, I'm doing like 3,000 steps versus at trauma, I was doing anywhere from 6,000 to 7,000 steps. times. My knee is still my knee. The pain is still there. I'm just pushing on. But if you don't know what a traumatic brain injury is, Google it. They have the ups and downs, agitation, when you don't understand what they're saying, or agitation just because. Now, he told me and the nurse a story that happened when he was in middle school, where the principal had called me and said that he was in the office because he did something wrong. I told the principal, I'm on my way. I said, let me speak to him. I said, I'm going to get you when I get up there. I was so tired. Instead of me taking my cell phone, I took the remote controller for the TV. And my son just bust out laughing. He said, I remember that. Remember Ma? I said, yeah, I forgot about that. So this is just to say he's doing good. I'm tired. And I don't know if he woke up to eat breakfast this morning because, again, being up all night, all morning. And guess what, y'all? Last night was my first time driving that far by myself with my total knee replacement. I made a mistake and ran through a red light. And I was not comfortable driving on the Beltway by myself with my new knee. Nah, I was not happy about that. But, I'm doing what I gotta do. And if I get help, I do. If I don't, I don't. I wanted to go to church today. But because of being there with my son, getting phone calls to 4 o'clock in the morning, and then still having a total knee replacement, I'm home in bed. I will be watching church at 9 o'clock on YouTube. What I don't like is, if you know my situation and you know I need help, and then you got other plans and you gotta do X, Y, Z, and you can't do this and you can't do that. Okay, fine. I know how to maneuver. So I'm packing my clothes and I'm going to stay at the facility with my son because I cannot keep driving that drive. I don't feel comfortable. Check it. The doctor for my surgery for my knee has not released me yet. I have an appointment with him tomorrow, but I have to cancel the appointment because tomorrow is the first appointment with the team where my son is, so we can plan for him to leave when it's appropriate time. I'm doing the best I can do. I thank God for giving me strength. I thank God for allowing me to make it home last night. The speed limit was 55, y'all, because I did not feel comfortable driving home last night. I was driving 40, 45 in the slow lane. All I can do is ask for help. I can't make anybody help me. So, God, I need your help. Again, My son thanks everyone that's prayed for him. I thank you all for your prayers. And have a nice day on purpose. Talk to you later, okay?